Welcome to Love from the Hip. I'm spiritual hypnotherapist, master esthetician, and your host, Sakura Sutter. Today is an exciting day because it is the first of a new edition of Love from the Hip featuring co-hosts Megan Durkins and Haley McLennan from Sage Sisters Podcast. I happen to be a guest on Sage Sisters Podcast and not only love their energy, but also what they are all about, which is sharing diverse ways that highlight self-care. Having almost died myself from a rare autoimmune disease, self-care is something I have come to highly value. So I chose to bring these wonderful, like-minded women on my show. Their podcast on self-care seemed more than right to mesh with my radio show on self-love and healing. This monthly collaboration with Sage Sisters Podcast will feature amazing people locally in the Seattle area, grabbing their story and sharing their healing insight and wisdom. I hope that after listening to our monthly show, you not only get inspired to live your life by taking from it what lights you up, but also that you will share it with others to help make this world a better place. After all, we all have a responsibility, and we owe it to ourselves first. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce Megan and Haley.
Hey, everyone. We could not be more thrilled about this collaboration.
Like Sakura said, we are Haley.
And I'm Megan.
And we are two energy healing junkies who are on the search for what wellness and self-care actually mean.
Every Friday on Sage Sisters Podcast, we dive into the paths of various practitioners, coaches, and teachers to learn what led them to where they are now and how they are helping people and what they're most excited for next.
We also share personal stories and learnings we've had as we've grown from our days as sorority, rhymes with witches, to bar hopping in Seattle, to now spending our time exploring our own paths of energy work, spirituality, and self-care.
We are so excited to bring on guests in collaboration with Love from the Hip to focus on what wellness and self-care actually mean, because we believe that it's very personal for each and every one of us. Sometimes it's a long bath, maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's an acupuncture appointment.
Or sometimes it's just simply brushing your teeth that day.
Totally.
Thanks for that, ladies. Today, Love from the Hip is bringing back a prior popular guest, professional Cartomancer Diana Clark. Diana is also a co-host of the Women's Hour on Conscious Talk Radio, also on 1150 AM KKNW. Diana will share her wisdom of the Gaelic Lenormand deck, as well as how her readings differ from traditional tarot. Plus, later on the show, we will open up the phone lines so that you can get a free reading from Diana. You won't want to miss it, so stick around after this quick break.
Is your tween starting to experience a change in their skin? Want to get them on an easy at-home routine and have good skin hygiene? Allow Sakura Skin in Mind to help your tween out. This brief, deep cleansing and educational 35-minute facial is just enough to get your tween, ages 10 to 12 years old, started off in the right direction. Sakura Skin in Mind uses the latest in the clinical skincare industry to care for your tween the right way for just $65. Sakura Skin in Mind, treating skin out there with an ounce of treatment and a pound of protection. Call 206-730-7429 or go to sakuraskininmind.com.
Tell your friends about Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Love from the Hip. I'm spiritual hypnotherapist, master esthetician, and your host, Sakura Sutter. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and to subscribe and share my YouTube channel and podcast on Podcast One, Love from the Hip, and that's HYP. And if you are just joining us today, is the first episode of a monthly collaboration with Sage Sisters Podcast.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And I'm Megan, and we're the host of Sage Sisters Podcast.
And we are two energy healing junkies who are on the search for what wellness and self-care actually mean.
You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts and on Instagram and Facebook at Sage Sisters Podcast.
Today, we have the pleasure of having Diana Clark on our show. Diana is a professional Cartomancer and co-host of the Women's Hour on Conscious Talk Radio, also on 1150 AM KKNW. Hey, Diana, thanks for coming back today.
Oh, I'm so happy to be back. I'm excited, and now you've got your other two lovely co-hosts here.
Yeah, this is a full room.
I know.
Yeah. Lots of energy.
Totally. Lots of estrogen in here.
We're into it. Yeah. So how do the Lenormand cards differ from traditional tarot?
Lenormand lends itself much more towards seeing the future, the predictions. It's a little bit more akin to fortune telling. And tarot isn't, although Hollywood makes it look that way. Tarot is a whole different ball of wax. There are 78 cards in tarot decks. My cards are 36 to a deck.
Okay.
And so it's really different, and it is very much about foretelling things into the future. And a lot of that is really how you interpret and how you're downloading. Lenormand has been around for a very long time, since around 17 something, and there was a woman, Marie Anne Lenormand, who first read playing cards, which were equivalent to this deck that I now read. So it's got a great history. She used to read for Napoleon.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
So why do you prefer to use the term cartomancer instead of psychic?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And it's because of the stigma associated with so many people saying they're psychic. I really avoid it. I think there are people who are wonderful psychics. I've been to a couple in my life that I consider a true psychic, and it's a term that gets misused so much, and I really don't want that association. So I use, and cartomancer is really what I do. I read cards. That's what that word actually means.
So how long have you been reading cards? You describe yourself as a spiritual-based card reader. What does that in fact mean?
Okay. Well, I've been reading my entire life. I actually learned officially when I was about 14. And it was my mother who was first reading. And I would see her read for friends. I grew up in Texas. And so I grew up with these cards, and they were really comfortable for me. So by the time I actually learned them, I kind of knew them. And then the more that you work with anything, whether it's cards or whatever your element is, you start to download. You're kind of reading beyond the cards. So I'm just really attracted to the part where you can really help people to move forward with things that you're seeing. And you really do learn how to let people know the truth without it being a damaging thing, especially when you see difficult things. And so I love that part of helping people. It's the ultimate piece to be able to give people clarity and also hope.
That's awesome. Well, hey, should we take our first caller? Let's
Yes.
go ahead and take
Oh, wow.
Nancy.
Get to it.
Nancy from Bellevue. Are you there?
Oh, hi there. I am. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So, Nancy, what is your question for Diana?
Well, I'm so excited to talk to her. It's so much fun. I am just really curious if what you can tell me about the man I'm going to end up with. Is it someone I know? Is he in my life now?
Okay, so you're wanting to know about relationship.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, let me have a look at that. Give me just a minute. The only difference in me doing these readings on the air is that I have to shuffle the cards for you. So I just want you to think real clearly about what that looks like, what it feels like for you.
Okay, well.
Give me just a minute here. Oh, okay. Well, you definitely are going to get an offer of marriage in the future. That's a positive.
Okay.
Hold on just a moment. The person that is around you, or the one that would be kind of coming up next around you, that is not the person.
Okay.
So you have not met him yet. Hold on.
I
just a
haven't
sec.
met him.
No, you have not met him yet. There
Which
is
is kind of exciting.
yeah, yeah. And so really it does show you will meet someone in the future. This man comes from a different place, so he's not from this area originally.
Uh-huh.
I do believe that he could be a divorced man,
Uh-huh.
and that will bring a whole new start, new beginning for you. But I'm telling you, one of the things that's really good is it's good you haven't met him yet, because you have two cards on your side which are an indication of the deeper work you need to do on yourself. So if you're saying, I want this, this, and this from my partner, I need to first be it. So use this time to go deeper, moving yourself into that higher awareness, that higher consciousness. And you definitely are meeting someone, though, in the future.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Well,
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thanks for calling, Nancy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Eric, do we have time to take one more caller? All right, let's go to Kathy in Chicago. Kathy, are you there?
Yes,
Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining us today.
thank you.
What is your question for Diana?
My question is, I'm worried about my husband. Yes, he's got a problem with breathing. I just would like to know if the doctors will find out what is causing the problem, because they have no idea right now.
Okay. So this is a question about his health.
Right.
Okay. Give me just a moment. I want you to think real clearly about your husband and about the issue of health.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a couple of pieces here. One of the pieces is that this stemmed from as if he were having an allergic reaction to something. It's actually something showing up in the home. He has a card on him which does tell me that there is a danger around it, so it's something that he really does need to move forward. The future side tells me that there's luck, so that does tell me they will figure out what it is.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Awesome.
So nice.
Well, yeah. Thanks for calling in, Kathy.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Well, hey, everybody, we're going to have to take a break, but stay tuned for the Oracle card in the hour. And also remember, this is a live show, so if you would like a free brief reading from Diana, feel free to call 1-888-298-KKNW or 425-373-5527 after this quick break.
Hey everyone, I'm Haley.
And I'm Megan, and we host Sage Sisters Podcast.
We're former sorority bitches who have turned into wellness witches. Behind us are the days of college parties, Seattle bar hopping, and random happy hours. Now we're seeking the secrets of true wellness and self-care.
Every Friday, we release new episodes chronicling our exploration of alternative energy healing modalities, spiritual wellness, and intuitive development. You can find us by searching Sage Sisters wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can download and subscribe to our episodes on iTunes and Spotify.
We've both found incredible healing through multiple forms of energy work and want to spread the love. So look up Sage Sisters Podcast and join in on your own spiritual wellness exploration.
Download and subscribe to Sage Sisters Podcast, and if you like, throw us a rating and review on iTunes. And don't forget,
Go sage yourself.
Peach fuzz is great if it's on a peach. Let Sakura Skin and Mind remove unsightly hair with dermaplaning. Although its primary purpose is to remove layers of dead skin, it's just one of the added benefits, leaving your skin baby smooth, safe, effective, fast, and affordable. What a concept! Sakura Skin and Mind wants you to look your very best, and dermaplaning is just one tool in their chest. Find out about dermaplaning at sakuraskinandmind.com. SAKURA, skinandmind.com. We bring out the healthy skin and healthy way of thinking you didn't know you had.
At Madsen Medical Spa, our goal is a healthy, beautiful you. We're a full-service medical spa, but our focus is educating people on maintaining health and wellness. We're excited to announce a new addition to our menu, Nootropic Popular Beverage. This magical drink formulation alleviates unnecessary snacking while keeping you focused and alert throughout your day. It satisfies your hunger, renews your energy, enhances your mood, diminishes aches and pains. Essentially, it makes you happy. And who doesn't want to be happy? Patients have already been raving about Nootropic Popular Beverage. They've elevated their mood while losing inches in the process. It's safe, natural, fast, and effective. Drink happy, feel happy. Nootropic Popular Beverage, happiness in a cup. Available at happytoelevate.com. That's HAPPYTOELEVATE.com. Or call 206-234-9188. Warning, you may feel happy.
Your skin is your body's largest organ. Care for it properly, starting with your face. Sakura Skin and Mind offers several clinical facial treatments to help stimulate collagen production, eliminate toxins, boost circulation, and deeply cleanse. See a new you in your mirror. Clinical facials range from $90 and up. Do your face a favor. Sakura Skin and Mind, erasing wrinkles one clinical facial at a time. Learn more, sakuraskinandmind.com. SAKURA, skinandmind.com.
No other station delivers this much variety. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Love from the Hip. I'm spiritual hypnotherapist, master esthetician, and your host, Sakura Sutter. Don't forget to tune in right here on KKNW every Wednesday from 2 to 3 for more Love from the Hip. And if you are just joining us, today is the first episode of a monthly collaboration with Sage Sisters Podcast.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And I'm Megan, and we're the hosts of Sage Sisters Podcast.
And we are two energy healing junkies who are on the search for what wellness and self-care actually mean.
You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts and on Instagram and Facebook at Sage Sisters Podcast.
Today, we have the pleasure of having Diana Clark on our show. Diana is a professional cartomancer and co-host of the Women's Hour on Conscious Talk Radio, which is also on 1150 AM KKNW. And if you would like a free question reading from Diana, feel free to call 1-888-298-KKNW or 425-373-5527. So, Diana, before the break, you had taken a call from Nancy, and you were telling her in order to have what she wants to be doing the work, the inner work.
Yeah, and so your question is, what is the inner
Yes.
work? And that's a great question. What it is that most humans are in what I call a suffering grid, and which is really based on a lot of fear. And this is where we see we're fearful of being alone. Lack of money is always in there. There's a lot of drama, a lot of stress. And this is where the vast majority of us will start out at.
Mm-hmm.
The other place is what I call the divine space. This is where I am letting in divine into my heart center so I fall in love with me. And divine is basically what most people will say is God or light or the universe or source, whatever name you want to give it. But when you open your heart to let that in, you will fall in love with you. In that space, we make high integrous choices that produce a lot of peace. We begin to look at our attachments, especially relationship attachments, a big one that I'm just not going to be happy unless I find somebody. Well, that will drop away when you drop the attachment piece. And it's a lot of hard work, by the way. That's an easy one to say, but most people suffer it in some realm. But if you can reach that space, and I always tell everyone, you have to be alone long enough to do it, because people have a tendency to go from relationship to relationship and you're never learning anything. Well, you might be learning things, but you're not implementing anything in your life because you don't have time. But if you can experience freedom of the soul, then you're actually standing in what I call is our power. Your power is soft and yielding. It's very beautiful. It's not harsh. But what will happen is, let's say I met a man. He's really handsome. I met this man. He's wealthy. I met whatever. While these may be great people, if they aren't doing the deeper work, I'm not interested, because I'm interested in the higher consciousness, the higher awareness piece. So I'm paying attention to my thought forms that tell me I'm not enough, or whatever they all tell you, that lesser egoic mind. So you can see it's kind of two big ballparks. So when I'm talking about doing the work, I am talking about I'm looking at the things I don't like about myself. We all have one or two. We know ourselves better than anyone. And we begin to work on those. Now, we're going to mess up because we're humans. We always go back to what we know. But I can catch myself quicker. I can become more refined. I'm quick to say I'm sorry if I mess up. I'm quick to do things so that I don't carry that energetic grid around with me. And so that's what doing the inner work is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
So when you're using the 36 card deck to read, are you also getting images, or is it just a gut feeling? How's that coming up for you?
Okay, well, before I do a reading, I actually sit in kind of a meditative state for just a moment. And what I'm really calling in is basically, for me, it's God's white light. I want everything coming through to be positive, uplifting. If there is something I see that humans consider a negative, I want that to come out in a way that's beneficial for you. Because some of these things, it's not easy to hear certain things about relationship, or certain things about a financial situation, or someone's illness. So I want to be in that grid, and I'm also in a protective white light grid, and I want to read from that place. And so it's just, they're things that are downloading. It's what I'm feeling.
So what do you say to people that may be skeptical about getting a reading because they're religious?
Yeah.
How do you bridge religion with your readings?
Right. That's such a great question. Thank you for asking that one. I actually read for quite a few people that we would put into the religious bracket. I have a group of Catholic women who their friends told them that if you could go see someone like that, oh my God, that's pretty sinful. And this was the response. And there's these 3 women in particular I'm thinking of. And they each came at different times, got their readings, and every single one of them at the end of the reading stood up, cried, and said, "This is the most spiritual connection I've ever felt to God."
Wow.
And that's not about me. That's just simply how I read. And she said that of course she goes to church all of the time, but it wasn't the same thing. And so, because people really want, well, the connection is about love. It really is. It's about the love part, and when you are looking at your creator, however you think of that, that's kind of the ultimate love piece for humans. And there is nothing wrong with religion as long as it is not dogmatic. I include everyone into the experience. I've only actually had one person, and it was a long time ago, where he was deeply a Christian, and he had very dogmatic ideas. And I actually sat with him quite a few times and said, I understand. Don't come if you don't want to, but if you do. He also had an alcohol problem, and so that was really compounded. So it's something that everyone has to decide for themselves. Definitely, I'm not practicing anything dark. To me, it is all in the white light.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a caller. We've got Kathleen on the line from Seattle. Kathleen, are you there?
I am.
Hi.
Thanks for taking my call. Hi.
Sure. What's your question for Diana?
Well, I have a relationship question. I have been off and on with this man for going on 10 years, and we're kind of in the middle in a limbo place, and I was wondering if she could give me any insight as to whether or not I should continue to invest or let it go.
That's a great question. So I just want you to think about that, what that feels like, and I'm shuffling the cards for you. Okay. One of the really big pieces around this is you do know in your heart of heart what your own hopes, wishes, and dreams are, and he does fall short of those. So always honor what you really feel, because we go back to that thing of attachment in relationship. This will not be the person you will be with, if we say forever and always kind of a thing, because there is somebody in the future that shows up for you.
Oh.
So hang on just a second here. The person that you are currently with, he has cards on his side, and this is really more about him than it is about you. He has a lot of emotional pieces and traumas from his past which have not been dealt with. So he's not totally emotionally available for you in the way that you would like it. It's not that they're horrible cards. It's that there are other things keeping you together. It's almost like when you hear that thing where people say it's the devil that you know. It's what you know. But you are worthy of something way, way beyond that. We did not come here to suffer it out with anybody, period. As to how long you'll be together with this person, that part I don't know. But I do know I see someone coming through in the future. That's always a more difficult thing to say when you're currently with someone. But you need to play it out with this person according to what is right for you and what's right for him. Because I think that's super important because of how we're learning. But as this piece will subside in your life, there is another energy of someone coming through. And actually, the person you meet in the future is totally in alignment with your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And there's also a piece around beautiful connection of communication with the person that you meet in the future.
Well, that's very hopeful. There's no time, there's no indication of how soon or...
Well, usually when it comes to timing, especially when it's around relationship, I always let everyone please make your own decisions on your own time frame. I do not know if you're supposed to be with him one day or a week or months or a year. But this much I do know is always honor when you are ready to leave. And it is hard to leave them. I understand that part. But you play it out according to what your soul came here to learn. If I'm seeing it in the cards, most of the things that show up in my cards will happen within a 5-year span. But some people are on really rapid cycles, like Sakura. I read for her, and everything happens in 2 weeks. The other people, it can take a lot longer. And for myself, I'm more on like a 8 to 10 year cycle. Mine are longer. So this is what I say. I'm going to share something great with you because I love this about timing. I believe in divine timing. That everything will happen in my highest good and in the highest good of those concerned. And if that's kind of my mantra, I say that all the time because we humans want it all yesterday, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, you have to go through what you need to go through according to your timing. And then if you can spend time alone, I really encourage people to stay alone for some good time, good length of time. If you can get through that, I don't know if you were listening earlier about that process of the inward journey, you'll be more in your power. That's really where it is for all us humans.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
It's interesting that you said the 5 year, because we have been in this sort of limbo for going on 5 years, and I'm kind of feeling like I'm at the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's your soul knows.
Yeah.
You know. I think that you already know the answer to all of that.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Kathleen.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for the wonderful day, ladies.
All right. Well, we're going to have to take another break, but stay tuned now for the Oracle card in the hour. And also remember, this is a live show. So if you would like a free card reading from Diana, feel free to call 1-888-298-KKNW or 425-373-5527 after this quick break.
And now it's time for the Oracle in the Hour reading.
All right. One of the ways we first got into energy work and spirituality was through oracle cards. Oracle cards are a great way to connect with your higher self and receive messages that can assist you throughout your day.
We wanted to share this with the Love from the Hip audience. Haley's going to kick off our first pull by choosing from her Magical Messages from the Fairies deck by Doreen Virtue.
All right.
Shuffling. She's shuffling. And then we'll put a picture of it on Instagram later so you can see what it looks like.
Okay, so I have pulled Healing, Healed, Healer. And the message for this, the situation you've inquired about is healing. Your prayers have been heard and you are being answered at this very moment. You have healing abilities that you can use for the benefit of the situation as well as to help other people heal. Additional meanings, take courses or read about healing, work or open a healing center. Know that the situation is already healed in spiritual truth.
Ooh, feels very fitting for today.
Very fitting.
Did you know that your skin is your body's first defense against disease and infection? Briotech knows and has developed their topical skin spray to enhance your skin's natural healing responses and defenses. Briotech is all about providing its customers products that help promote skin wellness. Briotech Topical Skin Spray is a light misting spray free of added fragrance, oil, alcohol, and parabens. All this protection without clogging your pores. It's a must addition to your all-around daily skincare regimen. Try Briotech, a collection of sprayers from 2 ounces to 8 ounces. With this bundle, you can have Briotech Topical Skin Spray wherever life takes you. All natural and safe to use from head to toe. Irritations? Redness? Post-procedure sensitivities? Get Briotech Topical Skin Spray today. Learn more at briotechusa.com. That's BRIOTECHUSA.com. Support your skin at briotechusa.com.
Find out the latest about your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150. Check out 1150kknw.com.
Welcome back to Love from the Hip. I'm spiritual hypnotherapist, master esthetician, and your host, Sakura Sutter. And feel free to email me at sakura@lovefromthehip.com with your comments, your criticisms, your questions, and well wishes. Let me know how I am doing. And if you're just joining us, today is the first episode of a monthly collaboration with Sage Sisters Podcast.
Hey, I'm Haley.
And I'm Megan, and we're the hosts of Sage Sisters Podcast.
And we are 2 energy healing junkies who are on the search for what wellness and self-care actually mean.
You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts and on Instagram and Facebook at Sage Sisters Podcast.
Today we have the pleasure of having Diana Clark on our show. Diana is a professional cartomancer and co-host of the Women's Hour on Conscious Talk Radio, which is also on 1150 AM KKNW. And if you would like a free card reading, feel free to call 1-888-298-KKNW or 425-373-5527. So, Diana, I have to ask you, is there free will in your readings?
Absolutely. When the reading is unfolding, I am seeing the trajectory from where you are. I did just read for someone the other evening in which I was explaining that since there's usually about this 5-year span, in 5 years, a lot can happen. So you always have free will when you want to do something and the lady who had just called in about relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I always encourage everyone to play it out according to your soul's purpose, because many times there's things in there you're still learning, but you do have free will to move forward at any time. And always never go by what anybody tells you. You always have to stick to what is right for you, what feels right. That's the number one thing, because if you change it too quick to match the cards, then there's things you're supposed to be learning, and you may have to repeat that lesson or something.
So essentially you're telling them, though, if you see a divorce, don't go home and divorce
Yes,
your
exactly.
spouse.
Yeah, like don't do it immediately,
Right.
but as it unfolds, don't suffer it out either.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's the
Okay.
balance of the two.
I like that explanation a lot.
Yeah, that works really
That's
well.
really good.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll take Rocio from Seattle. Rocio, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you for calling
taking my
in.
call.
Yeah, what is your question for Diana?
My question is regarding my son. He's 18 years old, and if there is any information that I can get to help about my role in his life, or understanding his trajectory.
Okay. Did you understand that?
Yeah,
He's
so
not
you're
a typical kid.
okay. Okay, so how? And you said he was 18.
18, yeah.
Okay. So just think about your son. Okay, so this is actually a really beautiful spread for you. There's been a piece here of a lot of difficulty. There's been stress and very difficult for you to reach him. This has to do with the connection. The two of you, though, in the future have cards that this could end up being very good for the two of you. This is a really beautiful piece, which tells me that ultimately it could end up being the big happiness, the big luck part for you. Now, he has several things that are showing, though, that are very difficult on his path right now. One of them, this is around a health piece. So I'm not sure if that is a drug or alcohol thing that is there, but there's a difficult piece there. And he's been easily influenced by others. Now, on your side, I can see where you have struggled with this. This has been very painful because obviously it's your son and there's great love there. If you ever question, does he love you or not, he absolutely loves you.
Yes, I feel it every day.
There are beautiful cards there. He's just off path right now. The ultimate gift we can give anybody is by doing our own spiritual walk on ourselves. It begins with you. The deeper you go, the more awakened you can become, the more he will see it. It's that piece of we lead by example by what we do. And if we're really going to see this big shift on the planet for these next upcoming generations, we must be awakened beings. We're never going to be able to shove any of this on our children. It would be like if I was practicing a particular religion and I'm trying to cram that down my daughter's throat. Well, that's not going to work. She's going to rebel. And so what we do is we do the work on us. The more you do it on you, you're doing it for you, you're doing it for him, you're doing it for your friends and everyone. It's like a ripple effect.
Okay.
And so, but you do have very good outcome cards. So get in there deeper. And if you end up going someplace, let's say you're going to go do a meditation class, and invite him to come along. Just say, hey, whatever you get out of it. That's how we do it. We do it by example. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. Do we have time for another call? Let's go ahead and take Jennifer from Kenmore. Jennifer, are you there?
Yes.
Hi there. Thanks for calling in.
Hi. So my question is just around kind of my direction in life and just leaving a career that was a long time and kind of struggling to find my path and my direction moving forward and just, kind of what that looks like.
Okay. That's a great question. So this is about you moving forward and the career part. Give me just a second. Okay, so this one always kind of makes me smile when I see this, because what it's saying is that kind of the common job does not appeal to you. There's a piece here next to you. You have a beautiful card of success and luck, but it's really taking you down a different road than where you've been. I'm really glad to see that you did leave your job, as you had used up your time there. So that part is good. On the future side are excellent cards, but this all is in, oh boy, this is excellent for you. It's all in conjunction with truly doing what you came here to do. So all of these other things you've been doing, not that they're not important and significant, but it really is showing you moving towards the realization of your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And this is that time when I see this, I get so excited for people, because it does have to do with your path and purpose, which is, what did you actually come here to do? And this is something that you will be passionate about, you would love. There are other people involved in it. And as you move towards this, which will always be in the realm of, I'm here to serve and be of service, there's always a lot of spiritual walk as well as creativity in there, nonprofit, volunteering, all of that type of thing is in there. But you get the picture. This is really taking you completely away from where you were before. So I always tell everyone a good place to start if you don't know, because you have a card here which indicates I feel lost. And that's actually a great place to start, because from there, it's kind of like a surrendered piece. Whenever we feel kind of lost, we're actually kind of open, like the world is your oyster, really. So get a pad of paper, and I want you to write down all the things you love. I don't care if it's dogs or if it's spirituality, if it's whatever it is. I want you to list all of those, and then seek things that are connected with those pieces that you write down. That's a really good place to get our focus on something. But this part is going to serve you very well. Your energy at the old job was completely used up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have fantastic cards on the future side, work that you love, people also who would be very dear, very helpful to you. And there is a woman here, and she's coming out in your cards as being very much like a mentor, somebody who is a helper, a teacher, somebody that is really going to help you along this road. And I really can't stress enough, but your cards in the future are absolutely the best. Mm-hmm. You have the big happiness, the luck card, work that you would love. Boy, I'd love to hear what this is in the future, because it's very, very good for you. So don't worry. This is that great place of surrender. Do the deeper work. Use this time to work on you and watch what unfolds, because I can guarantee you this much. When you change that energetic vibration inside of you, you begin to attract other like-minded beings into the fold, and then it just unfolds so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're beautiful cards.
Well, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Eric, do you have a time for? Okay, let's go ahead and take Heather from Glenview. Heather from Glenview, Illinois. Are you there?
Hello?
Heather, are you there?
Hello? Yes.
Hi, what's your question for Diana?
Hi. My question is that I have been bouncing around in the same relationship for a number of years now, and still bouncing around in it. And I think that...
I couldn't hear what you said in that last sentence you said.
Oh, I'm still bouncing around in it. And while I think it's the right way to go and I'm doing my work, I'm just concerned, not concerned, I'm just curious if this is the right way to go.
Okay. So this is around relationship. Okay, so the very first piece here is that neither one of you are very happy in the relationship. It's like you go through the motions and it's like you're putting way too much energy into this. A healthy relationship is actually a lot easier. I always tell everybody, if you do the deeper work on you and you can meet someone who's very awakened, then 95% of your relationship is relatively good. And I give you 5% for the things you got to work on. But really, we do not want to suffer it out with another human. And your cards are very suffering cards. there's also another placement that I like to see if it is around love. Now, love is a very rare thing to show in the cards, just so you know, because so much of relationship is attachment, and yours is most definitely in that space. Now, your piece that's on the future side is all about your own awakening, your own inward journey. I mean, I have all these cards that represent change, and they're all the ones that are change about yourself. And the main piece here is that you guys really are not really happy together. It doesn't mean, I know that when people sometimes break up, they end up being friends, and they are great friends. It doesn't mean that you can't have a connection, but neither one of you are very happy in this relationship, and it's been that way for a while. This is not new, because in my cards I can see it's been a process over a period of time. And there is a piece there, too, of kind of resentments that have built, and also communication that would be truly open, really telling your truth, but in a kind way is needed. So I hope that helps you.
It does. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We're going to have to take up another break. So everyone stick around for more Love from the Hip hosts Sage Sisters podcast.
Hey, everyone. I'm Haley.
And I'm Megan, and we host Sage Sisters podcast.
We're former sorority bitches who have turned into wellness witches. Behind us are the days of college parties, Seattle bar hopping, and random happy hours. Now we're seeking the secrets of true wellness and self-care.
Every Friday, we release new episodes chronicling our exploration of alternative energy healing modalities, spiritual wellness, and intuitive development. You can find us by searching Sage Sisters wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can download and subscribe to our episodes on iTunes and Spotify.
We've both found incredible healing through multiple forms of energy work and want to spread the love. So look up Sage Sisters podcast and join in on your own spiritual wellness exploration.
Download and subscribe to Sage Sisters podcast, and if you like, throw us a rating and review on iTunes. And don't forget,
go sage yourself.
Did you know that your skin is your body's first defense against disease and infection? Briotech knows and has developed their topical skin spray to enhance your skin's natural healing responses and defenses. Briotech is all about providing its customers products that help promote skin wellness. Briotech Topical Skin Spray is a light misting spray free of added fragrance, oil, alcohol, and parabens. All this protection without clogging your pores. It's a must addition to your all-around daily skincare regimen. Try Briotech, a collection of sprayers from 2 ounces to 8 ounces. With this bundle, you can have Briotech Topical Skin Spray wherever life takes you. All natural and safe to use from head to toe. Irritations? Redness? Post-procedure sensitivities? Get Briotech Topical Skin Spray today. Learn more at briotechusa.com. That's BRIOTECHUSA.com. Support your skin at briotechusa.com.
Want a more youthful figure no matter what age? Find answers at Madsen Medical Spa. Allow doctors Aaron and Paul to help you eliminate your frustration with weight management. Say no to yo-yo, diets, and exhausting exercise grinds. Madsen Medical Spa will do the heavy lifting for you and coach you all the way through to your ideal weight. We offer the latest and greatest in body sculpting and body contouring lasers and devices, high-quality nutritional supplements and meal replacements, as well as mindful practices. We will treat the inside to treat the outside, and it's all personally tailored for you. Men and women, drop inches, not just pounds, and see a healthy, beautiful you. Consultations are free. Results are priceless. Log on to MadsenMedSpa.com. That's MADSEN Medspa.com. Or call 425-656-8008. That's 425-656-8008. Get the shape you want this summer. Become a healthier, more beautiful you.
Talk radio with a purpose. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Love from the Hip. I'm spiritual hypnotherapist, master esthetician, and your host, Sakura Sutter. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and to subscribe and share my YouTube channel and podcast on Podcast One, Love from the Hip, and that's HYP. Today is the first episode of a monthly collaboration with the Sage Sisters podcast.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And I'm Megan, and we're the hosts of Sage Sisters podcast.
And we are 2 energy healing junkies who are on the search for what wellness and self-care actually mean.
You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts and on Instagram and Facebook.
Today we have the pleasure of having Diana Clark on our show. Diana is a professional cartomancer and co-host of the Women's Hour on Conscious Talk Radio, which is also on 1150 AM KKNW. So we're going to go right into our phone lines here. We've got Denise waiting for a while here. Denise, are you there?
Yes.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us today. What's your question
Sure.
for Diana?
I have a question about men and money. Men is probably the most important one. What do you see for me in the future?
As far as meeting a man and his financial state?
Oh, no. My financial money and a man. Yeah.
Okay, that's
That's
kind of
separate.
two different questions there. Okay, so first one is around meeting a man, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's think of that one. Okay. So the very first piece that's really showing here is you have a piece of your self-talk that is telling you you're not enough. This is that space, and most humans, by the way, have experienced that if they are still experiencing it. That piece is where we do that deeper work around paying attention to our thought forms. If you don't pay attention to it, it has a sort of a desperation feel to it that you're putting out towards relationship, which is actually then resistance, and you push away the very thing you want. So we want to move into allowance. So the next time your thought form tells you you're not enough this or that, or what, you can fill in the blanks. And next time that you catch yourself doing that, I want you to really think consciously and move into that higher awareness around that so that you are telling yourself the truth, which is you are a beautiful spiritual being and you are wonderful just the way you are. When I'm seeing this piece is that this is like great desire for a relationship, but if we're still in that space of I really have to have this, or I just can't be happy without this part, that's that piece of resistance. And this is all falling on your side, so this is what is coming out of you. Now, in the future, there is a piece here around permanent relationship, which is actually the offer of marriage. You do not know this person yet, and I'm not sure at what point that you will meet the person, but you will have an offer of marriage. Now, I really like the cards that are underneath it, which deal with being really admiring. So that person admiring you, you admiring that person with big happiness. And there's lovely cards of communication, but you have a big piece to work through here and really release that part of you that has that sort of a grasping, clinging, a little bit smothering. There's that piece, and you know what I'm talking about. That's that thing that's in you, and you'll want to release that, because what we're doing then is we are always attracting something less than what we are. I hope that makes sense for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, Denise. Well, let's go right into taking Heidi from Kirkland. Heidi, are you there?
Hi.
Hi. What's your
Diana.
question for Diana?
It's revolved around my career. I just started a new career a couple years ago, and I just wanted to know if I'm on the right path and if I'm going to be successful.
Okay. Hold on just a moment. Let me find the card for career. Of course, it's the second to the last one. Okay, so let's think career. I'm just shuffling the cards for you. Oh, okay. Wow. So this is a pretty amazing card that fell on top of you, which is the card of the big happiness, big luck. It's a great placement. You are going to have other changes within the work environment. This change sometimes can be, I'm kind of changing direction a little bit, or something grand is offered. There is a piece there around working with a lot of people. I'm not sure how that's going to feed into this, but the place where you're at has a lot of expansion. So where you're at right now is just the starting point. You will have other changes come up in your work environment, and they're fantastic for you.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling, Heidi.
Diana, we talk a lot about self-care on our show, and we always want to know, what is your current self-care practice like?
Self-care. Oh, boy. Well, Sakura's been pampering me. I just got a facial. You guys need to wear your sunglasses.
Skin looks great.
Yeah, it does look really
I've been meaning
good.
to mention that.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. I've also done a hypnotherapy session with Sakura, and that's part of self-care, of getting in deeper. And I've done a lot of work, but folks out there, this is how much work it is. You have to be dedicated, and I want to do this work. I always treat myself to massages. There's a lot of things that I do. I make sure that I live a peaceful, slow-paced life, and that's extremely important. I get plenty of sleep. I never make sure that I am not too thinly spread out, and that's all part of that thing. And, of course, eating healthier. We all feel better whenever we eat healthier. But a big part for me, too, is my spiritual walk. That's the most important part to me. And I do something every day to feed my spiritual soul. It's the ultimate piece. I have the things in my life that I love: horses, art, music. These are the things that I use in my life that make me feel great.
Oh, so much good advice in there.
There's a lot of it.
So much.
And so would you say self-care then is really important important part of the inward journey?
Absolutely, because it's the part that keeps me on track. I always tell everyone I'm a simpleton. I keep it as simple as possible. I'm not interested in stress. I'm not fascinated by drama. And those are things I'm dedicated. I want to live that way. And that's how I do it.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So how can our listeners book a full reading with you, Diana?
It's easiest for people to reach me at 425-869-1330. And, of course, I have all the social media out there, my Facebook page, The Gaelic Lenormand. And they can reach me and message me through that, or either the phone number, either or.
And you have your own deck and companion book to go along with that, right?
I do. I've actually created my own Gaelic Lenormand card deck, as well as a companion guidebook. Both are available at Amazon.com.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it was fun.
Gosh.
It was really fun.
Well, thank you for being here today.
It was so fun.
Thank you
I
so
just love
much.
this. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. And thank you to Eric, our amazing producer, and you, the listener.
Thank you, Sakura, so much for having us co-host. We cannot wait for next time.
You guys can find us at sagesisterspodcast.com, on Instagram or Facebook at Sage Sisters Podcast. And you can listen to new episodes every Friday on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Have a beautiful day, and don't forget to go sage yourself.
And you can find me at lovefromthehip.com or sakuraskinandmind.com. You can also follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as my podcast on Podcast One and Love from the Hip. That's HYP. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me at sakura@lovefromthehip.com. And tune in next Wednesday at 2 p.m. for more Love from the Hip, and make self-love contagious. Go ahead, I dare ya.